Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Hi, I am Talia Moore, your host for Encounter with Broome County Council of Churches. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Today we have Christy Taylor with Binghamton First Assembly of God. Hi, Christy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a mother of 4 beautiful girls, and I am married to my wonderful husband, Josh.
Mm-hmm. And so you are the Creative Arts Director, Binghamton First Assembly of God. Can you tell us a little bit how you got into the arts?
Well, when I was about 15, I started with stage productions, just acting, doing some behind-the-scenes work. And then all through high school, I was just very interested in the arts. And then through my 20s, I got involved with screenplays, stage productions, and so I just have a passion for all of the arts.
Amazing. And so tell us a little bit about some of the arts programs that you have done with Binghamton First Assembly of God.
I've done drama teams, I've done community events like we did a summer camp last year for youth, and that had singing and drama and art and painting, writing, all sorts of things. So I've done that. I've done stage productions. We've done human videos. We've done a lot of stuff there. Okay. So you guys work a lot with the community as well as outreach for Binghamton First Assembly of God. What are some things that you guys have done to kind of bring the community in to work with your creative arts programs that you offer throughout the year? So last year we did something, it was like I said, a camp for students, and we had about 40 students involved.
Wow.
So we had different workshops to do, and it was called Ignite. And so that was a 4-week program, 2 times a week, and we just had workshops where students could come in. We had a showcase at the end of it, and we called it Ignite so that we could ignite the passion of students and people in the community to the arts.
Awesome. So in that Ignite program, what kind of creative arts programs the students get to participate in?
So we had painting, we had drawing, we had the drama, and we had different things like sign language, so all different types of art programs.
And so there was a huge community interest for that, or was it just a lot of the kids who go to the church already, or did the community really come out for a program like this?
Yeah, the community really came out. I would say it was about half and half, if not more. Community came in, and the church really backed it up, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about creative arts, and then we're talking about God. How do you believe God sees creative arts as a ministry in the church? Like, how does that relate?
I think God was like the first creative arts director. I mean, if you see creation,
right.
I mean, he painted, the skies, and he made the earth and everything, and it was all colorful and all beautiful and for us to enjoy. And if you look at Jesus in the New Testament and how he used parables,
right.
and he used the soil, and he used all different types of the earth and different visuals to have people of that day understand what he was saying. So I think Jesus and God are very, very visual, and you can see that in the Bible.
Awesome. And so you talk about visual and creative arts. How does that there are a lot of different visual and creative art things that are going on to the churches. We have like video screens, and we have, you said human video.
Yes.
And so how is that message translating, and how is media important now in the church than maybe in the latter days of churches that were kind of coming up? How is that more important today?
Well, if you look at it, movies are out, videos, so people watch YouTube all the time. People watch videos and movies all the time. So incorporating media and videos into your church service, it's a modern current thing, and it's also very effective because you can put things on a screen that you couldn't do on a stage. So if you want to have a different aspect and you want to go out and you want to film like on a riverbed, you can, but you can't portray that on a stage. So I think media and the arts is such a great thing because it just brings another aspect in, and it's something that people enjoy. So if you have, like you said, human video would be more stage, but that is acting out in music or in a form of a video, but you're doing it human-wise. If you're doing it on a screen, if you're doing it on a multimedia type thing, presentation, you can go out, for example, you can't do a car scene if somebody's driving. It's very hard to do that on a stage, but you can do that on the screen, and it can bring things to life. It can, and with all the capabilities of HD, things like that, it just brings things to life in front of your audience or congregation.
Amazing. And so, I mean, kids are so enthralled today with, like you said, YouTube, and like even my own little girl, she loves YouTube, and they're attracted to those things. And so creative arts definitely does translate to the youth and how we relate to them. And so with the summer coming up, I know that, you guys have done some summer programs. Now, if a church is out there and they have youth, or they have people who are interested in the arts, and they don't have an established program for the arts, how could they go about maybe creating maybe a small multimedia or a small creative arts program for their congregations, as well as maybe some outreach for their youth? How would they go about that? What are some suggestions you would say?
Yeah, I think just tap into, your congregation, tap into people that you have there, because I'm sure there's creative people in every congregation. Encourage people just to use their talents, even if, they can do one line, encourage them to do that, to start small, to start, at a point where you're just developing. I think that is a huge thing, is to develop people that are interested. Don't worry about their skill set, because you can develop that. And also, I think partnering with community churches is an amazing thing to do.
Awesome.
Reach out to different people in your community of churches that are doing the arts, and you can really network that way. And I think that is also a great way of bringing things in. So development, using resources like people that have been in the arts for a while, I think that is a great thing too.
So what are some of the resources that you would need in order to put up a production? I mean, there's a lot of different costs associated, but what are if a church was starting out and they didn't have a whole lot of things to kind of get together for production, but they really wanted to get out there, what are some resources they could use, or maybe some church connections they could use for those resources?
Well, I always say don't stress. Like if you have a smaller church and you can't do something like extravagant, that's okay, because that's the great thing about the arts. The arts are expressive. So when you are expressing what you want to get across, people are going to understand. So, I mean, costumes usually, can be pretty cheap. If you can go to thrift stores, you can use, different avenues like that. Props, a lot of times, look around your house, like reach out to people and say, hey, if you need a telephone, a lot of times you have a telephone. If you need, anything you need, a lot of times you can find in your house, or you can ask somebody, or you can network with another church.
Amazing.
They probably have it. And then lighting, you can get, lighting always adds to it. So lighting and sound, I think, is a big one. You want to make sure you have good quality lighting and sound, or as quality as you can have.
Right.
And then, costumes, just build on the costumes, build on the props. Rehearsals are really important, like to look at that and different dress rehearsals and different things but yeah, I think the biggest thing is just developing people to use their talents, and then all this other stuff will come together. But budget-wise, I think you're going to want to look at lighting, sound, props, costumes, and then, how much it's going to cost for, to do it in the church and things like that.
Well, I know that productions can be so expansive and so large when it comes to it and getting people and talent. So in that, I know that there are areas where people can volunteer. Now, if someone wanted to possibly volunteer their services with Binghamton First Assembly of God and contact Christy Taylor for any outreach, how would they go about that?
How would they go about contacting me?
Yeah.
Well, my email address is christytaylor@binghamtonfirst.org, or they can, call the church as well. Yeah.
Okay. So there are, we'll just kind of switch back to the youth a little bit. How important do you believe that arts are? How important are arts to the youth, our community and our youth? How important is that?
I think it's extremely important. I think once you get youth in a room and you're like, hey, show me what you have. Somebody's going to get out a canvas and they're going to paint. Another person's going to, get out the dance moves and make that happen. You're going to see them just light up as an actor, So I think the arts are just a part of life. If you look at youth in the schools, music, that's an art form. Art is an art form. Drama is an art form. Dance is an art form. So you see the arts all over the community. You see the arts in the schools. You see arts in church. And I think it's even more important to bring it into the church where, students are going to have a safe environment. It's going to be a clean and, there's not going to be explicits, things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be like a good environment for the youth to use what they're already using.
Right.
So I think the church is so instrumental with discipleship in the arts, with development in the arts, and just encouragement for kids, to use their talents that God has given them.
Absolutely.
And to give back, to God, and just to, show what they, what God has given them. So.
Awesome. And we are with Christy Taylor from Binghamton First Assembly. She is the Creative Arts Director. And can we just kind of talk about, you just started this role, and kind of talk about this role and how you kind of traveled along this road to come to this position with Binghamton First Assembly of God.
Well, in the past, I have co-directed several productions. I've had several drama teams that I have taught over the years, and so this role, I'm just so excited because there's just so much vision going forward with it, in discipleship, with outreach, we're going to have a stage production coming up in December for Christmas. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm hoping to get some, teams together that we can go out, and also just actually mentoring kids. That's what my heart is, mentoring children and adults alike to come out of their shell, to see, what gifts that they have. Because some people can say, oh, I'm not good at memorization. I'm not good at, getting on the stage. It's like, okay, we have a place for you. You can do props. You can help with video. You can help with lighting. There's a place for you in the arts, and I think people just have to realize that they have potential. Don't hold back. Don't be like, oh, I can't do this because.
Right.
It's no, like, why? What can we get you into? What can we get you in?